Hey Eurovision fans, this is Tom coming to you from Shanghai and back for another Eurovision reaction video. Today I'm going to be going through Melodifestivalen semi-final number 2, that's Sweden's national final. I'm going to talk about all 7 songs, including the 2 who went direct to the finale and the 2 went to Anna Hansen, and what I think about the winners. So let's kiki! As always, you can use the progress bar if you want to skip to a certain song that I'm talking about. With Melfest, I'm not going to put any media in because they are super aggressive about showing anything from the show, and the video will get banned and I'll get a copyright strike. Okay, so first up, the first direct to finale was Daughter. As you may have known, Daughter was one of my favorite songs last year. This ended up being my number 2 if you consider all the songs in the whole of Eurovision, not just the ones that qualified. Was I expecting her to have another Bulletproof? No, I think for me, Bulletproof was like a 1 in 10 year song, like a piece of like pop magic that comes along. I wasn't expecting her to be able to reproduce that again. But her song, Little Tot, was pretty strong actually. I'm pretty happy with it. It was probably my favorite song of the night. For me, the most noticeable thing about it was how much it suited her vocal range. I'm not sure if she just, first of all, she wrote the song again with Dino, which was the same as Bulletproof, but it felt like it suited her vocal range more and it was easy for her to sing. The biggest problem with Bulletproof was she wasn't able to hit those 2 high notes, which were the most crucial part in that song. She could hit them, but she couldn't hit them reliably, and I didn't feel like she was super confident with it. Plus, she had so much choreography going on. This performance felt much more suited to her. It felt like she easily got all of the vocals, and actually her vocals were a lot more impressive, whereas before it felt like they were a bit iffy with Bulletproof. This felt very confident. She looked absolutely amazing. She's definitely redoing her squats and thigh master. Her legs looked great. Her performance was fantastic. She's actually a really good dancer as well. She's got great hairography and headography. I feel, I've got notes here, that's what I'm looking at. I felt if she'd had that performance with Bulletproof, she would have won by quite a margin last year. She lost by 1 point to the Mamas. I felt like actually, because it was so close, that made the fact that she missed some of the vocals a little bit more relevant, because I felt that would have given her an extra 5-10 points. Her staging was done by Sacha Jean-Baptiste. It had some really, really cool visuals in it. They did the old thing, which has been done quite a lot, where people are standing behind her and they come out and do arms and stuff. I don't mind, it looks slick. It looked like kind of like a ninja performance, very dark blacks, but they all looked very sleek and kind of mysterious, and they had face masks on. The whole thing looked really, really cool, but there was no kind of gimmicks this year like there was with the disco ball. I liked the disco ball last year, I'm not saying I didn't like it, but there was nothing like there was no like a big moment. It was just like a whole theme of kind of coolness and sleekness. I thought this was the best song of the night. I thought it was very deserved to go through to the final. I haven't checked the odds yet, how she's been doing now with the odds. Oh, she's gone to top of the odds. I wouldn't mind if this won. Look, it's not the same level for me as Bulletproof is, but I really like the meaning of the song as well. She's talking to a young kid and saying, look, you gotta make a better world than we do. And she self-penned it. There's a lot of really, really positive things about this. Plus, we still have that thing where we want a girl to represent Sweden. You know, the Mamas would have represented them, but before that we'd had 4 or 5 guys in a row. You have to go back to Sanna Nielsen, I think, as the last girl. So I definitely want a girl to be winning this year. For me, this is definitely better than Dani Salcedo, who I would consider the first seed in the first semi-final. We have to just wait and see the Mamas, what they've got, and Eric Sada. I think those are probably going to be the main 4 this year. Next up, the second direct-to-finale song was Anton Ewald. So Anton Ewald is back. I think this is his first song since a while. Was Begging his last song? I think Begging was... I know Begging went to Anna Hansen, which was a bit of a crime because Begging was a really, really great song. And then he eventually got through to the final. I think he came 5th or 6th. Oh my god, Begging was 2013. No, he had Natural in 2014. I can't really remember that one, to be honest. Yeah, so wow, he hasn't been in Melodifestivalen for 7 years. That's a bit crazy. He still looks like he's like 12 years old. Yeah, the staging didn't really have too much in terms of like originality in it. It looked a lot like all the kind of... It looked like a mix of Benjamin Ingrosso and Robin Bengtsson, and it just looked like a mix of kind of all of those with like lasers and coolness and a little bit of 80s and kind of Justin Timberlake nods. But one thing I say about him is he is an amazing dancer. He really is like very, very good dancing. He's really electrifying and he really commands attention when he's dancing, and he looks like a professional dancer. He's that good. His vocals, I don't know. I'm not as blown away by that, but for me, the dancing is enough of an entertainment to distract from that. The song, it was fine. I didn't feel like it was anything particularly special. I can't remember any of it. I didn't watch his encore performance. Overall, like, I think it's a fair package to get through to the final, and probably justice for him not getting through with Begging. That was a little bit unfair. I think it does his own choreography as well. Anyway, yeah, so I'm pretty happy with him. I thought that was pretty fair that he went through. I didn't feel like anyone else was particularly robbed. First due to Anna Hansen was... I've got so many Eurovision Wikipedia pages open. First due to Anna Hansen was Frida Green with the song The Silence. I thought this was okay. To be honest, out of the other 5, there was nothing that I thought was particularly special. I liked the tempo of the song. It started off ballad and then it kind of got into an up-tempo ballad, which I liked the structure of the song and that it was not like a typical boring ballad and it kind of grew as it went on. Like, her dress was kind of nice. I didn't like her hairstyle. It looked a little bit severe, a little bit like Svala with paper. But her dress was nice. It was kind of giving me vibes of that girl from Slovakia who sang Hera Chroni, that Slovakian song with kind of like the druid Celtic forest vibes. So I liked her dress, but the hair was awful. I wouldn't like to see her like with like funner hair or something. The song was fine. I don't really remember any of the melody of the song. I'm not looking forward to seeing this on Anna Hansen, but I'm not anticipating it. Now, on the other hand, the second song that went on Hansen was Eva Rydberg Ewa Roos. Now, I was really, really pleasantly surprised by this. I have to admit, I had to slap myself for being a little bit presumptuous in assuming that this would be like super lame. It wasn't super lame. It was extremely charming and endearing. The song is super basic and simple, but they looked really, really into it, particularly one of them. I think it was Eva? Yes. Eva, my god, Eva was really selling it to me. I don't know what the song was about. Rena, Rama, Ding Dong. I'm guessing it's a little bit of a nonsense. Definitely something about age as well, because all the 4 dancers behind them were dressed up as old people and pretending to be like kind of incapacitated and whatnot. But I just loved their performance. They had a real showgirly feel to it. They were super into it. They gave 100%. They didn't look nervous at all. They looked like they're having fun. The song was like simple but kind of catchy and chirpy, and this brought a smile on my face. I watched the whole thing and it was very effortless to watch it, and I really can't say that for some of the other songs in this semi and on the first semi as well. So it very played to them. I was actually really happy when I went through and I felt like, oh, this is great. People are actually voting based on what the total package looks like, as opposed to because it's like a hot dude or a sexy chick or whatever. So I was really happy to see that go through Anna Hansen, and I'm very much supporting them. Okay, so there are 3 songs that didn't make it through. First one was Julia Alfrida with Rich. This song actually was quite nice. She looked very lonely on stage. She had quite a nice transformation from her video clip where she was doing like a little bit of an interview where she looked kind of like a little bit emo-ish, and then she had this transformation to looking kind of like she'd had a makeover or something. She looked pretty slick on the stage. The background thing I found very distracting. It had like red videos of people singing the song, but they didn't know the words, so most of them were kind of like half mumbling the song. It was very confusing, and in terms of a staging concert, it was a little bit boring, and it's actually been done several times already in other national finals. We've just had boxes with people behind. I remember that guy in Melody Grand Prix, something like It's Okay, he had the same thing, people saying It's Okay in the background. So I don't know, I think you can come up with some, if she doesn't have a budget, that's fair enough, but I don't know, I still think you can come up with something clever. If you don't have a budget, you can get one of your friends to come on the stage and do some sort of interesting anything. So probably just lacking that, and then obviously the song wasn't probably strong enough. That came last. Another thing I liked about her song was I was kind of getting Lorde vibes from it, which I can't really think of anyone else who's given us Lorde vibes. We have people who give us a lot of Dua Lipa vibes this year and Billie Eilish, but no one doing Lorde, so I kind of liked that feel that she had with the song. 6th place was WAHL featuring SAMI, called 90s Toilet. This song for me was it wasn't a total car crash, it was a bit of a car crash. I really found it difficult to watch the whole thing. I think I ended up skipping through little bits of it. Yeah, it was just super cringe, and the song just seemed so unnatural to those 2 guys. Those 2 guys look like they would normally be more comfortable like rapping or doing some sort of like urban song, and in the end it was like this like weird, you almost could have given that song to like a teenage girl or something. It just seemed like a real mismatch between the artist and the song. I do like 90s music, and I like that, you know, we've had loads of 80s already, we haven't really had any 90s music, but the melody wasn't interesting enough for me, and I wanted it to be over after 1 minute. That's what I've written down here. In 5th place we had Patrik Jean, and his song was called Tears Run Dry. Now, if I understood the intro correctly, which I probably didn't, this is the guy who wrote one of the writers for Move, which was the Mama's winning song last year. Gotta admit, it doesn't feel like this was the best song he had. I Do you know what I was thinking when the performance was on is that he probably wrote a couple songs this year and gave all the good ones to other people, and then was like, oh, I've got one left over no one wants, I might as well enter myself. It was kind of leftovers. That's what I was thinking, is that this is a songwriter who's got some leftovers. Like, he's a good voice and he was a pretty good performer. The performance was a little bit interesting. It was lots of guys in kind of androgynous like skin colored dresses with some floral things on it. Kind of interesting enough, like something was happening, but the song was kind of like up tempo, a little bit Euro trashy. It was fine. I don't really remember it. Coming 5th in your first Melodifestivalen is not bad at all. So maybe he'll come back. Obviously he's a songwriter as well. So he's written for Marcus and Martinez. Are those Norwegian boys? Yeah, those Norwegian twins. He's written for them as well. Oh, the thing about that song is I feel like it's a song that Blas Canto would have liked to have sang. It sounded very much like Blas Canto. Okay, so that's what I think about the 7 songs. The thing about the show, I thought Oscar Zia and Anis Don Demina were really, really great. They were really good at giving their delivery, and I didn't understand all of their banter, but it seemed like they had really good chemistry and they sounded really confident and were kind of funny. So I almost like the way that they're going through all these different hosts and I thought they were really, really, really good together. So that might be something to watch out for next season. They might give them another spot. Haven't really seen Oscar since Human, which was a really great song that came 2nd in 2016. I think we've seen him since then. So I'd like to see Oscar Zia come back. And Anis last year was fantastic. I'd love to see him come back again as well. Okay, so that's what I thought about the 7 songs in semi-final number 2 of Melodifestivalen. Please let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in another Eurovision reaction video very soon. Goodbye.